We're going to reflect. Our reflections are going to be for each other.
How old are you?
28.
And you've made moves in business and in life that brothers would make in their late 30s or mid 30s.
The talk he's giving you is killing you, by the way. This uncle advice causes stagnation.
You need to allow people to disagree with you and respond without getting...
No, you need to learn to eat like a white woman.
Too much woman, man. Just life, if you just stop
As in
talking so much about women, I would love you 10x more.
What is life without women? I'm really angry at Fawaz, and I got criticism for him. Whenever we're together, you don't give us anything. If you're not going to talk about personal development, then the conversation is going to go to women, of course. So it's your fault that the brothers, they talk about women.
There's people that are going to start hitting us. People are going to attack us. I'm going to ride it out because I'm trying to genuinely build something that has never been done before. So I want to build a...
Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, guys. How are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of Chai with my bite. Funny guys, you can see behind closed doors. No one drinking chai. This brother got some matcha looking drink in his cup. But it's not matcha.
Wallah, it's not matcha.
Yeah, it's not matcha. But it looks like it. This brother's got coffee. I don't know what was in mine. I think it was a tea, but it failed.
What do you think I got in mind?
Water.
No.
What's that?
Does that look like water to you?
It's protein shake.
No. Creatine.
I was just going to say creatine.
Pineapple flavored creatine.
Yeah.
Anyways, today's going to be an interesting episode, inshallah ta'ala. What we're going to do is we're going to reflect, right? But our reflections are going to be for each other. Our reflections are going to be for each other. You see, when a man is able to use his mind for you, it's a great blessing. Because he can see in you what you can't see in yourself. A human being is like a mirror. Does that make sense? And sometimes there are strengths that you have that you don't even realize. There are weaknesses that you have that you don't realize. A mirror will show it to you. We are a mirror to each other. So what we're going to do is we're just going to reflect on behalf of each other. And as Sam suggested, everyone goes around. And we mentioned one good thing and one that a person should capitalize on and maximize and optimize, and one bad thing.
Yep.
Right? And the good thing, by the way, might not necessarily be the thing that that person knows is the best thing. It could be something that's hidden. Where it's like, you should work on that. That's actually a great skill. And likewise, reflect on improving in certain things. So,
and I would actually love to hear people's reflection on themselves as well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something they've realized, like a self-discovery thing. A good and bad thing they realize they need to work on themselves.
Cool. So let's start off with Bakr. We're going to move around. Inshallah, Zarir will be last.
As you want me to give advice?
No, but Sam, we're going to give you advice.
Okay.
Go on, Sam. You first.
No,
This was your idea.
You went first last episode. I went first last episode.
You're right. Go on. Fawaz, you advise Bakr.
I'll be real. In order for this to be effective, it has to be done in a linear manner. Hence, Zarir needs to start.
All right.
And now, it's genuinely, it would only make sense,
That was a very blue response. But okay, can we stop?
Can I actually say, we actually done this I think I told you this. We've done this on a Morocco retreat before.
Uh-huh.
When majority of the brothers left, there's always a batch of us that stay. And it's so effective. When
Should we just do a
brothers are
360 review?
Yeah, like
Let's just slaughter each other.
actually honest with each other.
Yeah?
Yeah, bro. I don't think it needs to be so structured, Because if it's gonna be like a bit boring for everybody. If it's like
Everyone just jumps in, adds points, but there's one rule though. You can't argue back. We have this law. You can't argue
but I
back.
can argue back.
And you can't justify.
I'll argue back.
You can't.
I'll argue back.
You have to say, okay, can you give me an example of that? But you can't be like, no. And now I know I'm going to mention for you. Wait till I come to you now. Guys.
Come on, you don't start with me.
I think you should be a bit more mindful about what you eat.
No, away from you. Yeah.
That's literally what he just did right there. Can I ask a question? I was watching you eat that, right? And I was just wondering, has he given himself, like, I'm going to eat this much? And that's what you should, you're not even looking, you're eating without realizing, you're just breaking into the next piece, you're eating it.
Bro, thank you for saying that, bro. Because he was talking about...
Put it back, put it back.
Yes,
put it back.
Don't put it back, throw it away, bro.
Put it back.
No, I agree, actually.
It's just about, like, you can enjoy these things, no problem.
Yeah.
But it has to be intentional. That's
yeah,
by design.
intentional
is
everything.
Much.
I only wanted to have one.
If that had stayed there, it would have finished within 10 minutes of the podcast and you wouldn't even realize it.
I tried to give it to you guys.
But just because...
Wait, I can't respond.
Just because we have... Just because we didn't... finish the rest of it.
Doesn't mean you finish it, yeah.
Delicious, it was nice.
Romania-
That doesn't mean you finish it.
Yeah.
Bro, seriously, we're talking about, you know.
Look, when you guys ordered me chips, when you guys offered me chips earlier, the fries,
Yeah.
I wanted to eat that.
Yeah.
But I said no.
No, that's good. But my point is just have that mindset more of the time. No, that has to be no.
You're right.
You could have said, yeah, I'm going to take some chips.
No, I should say no.
But it should be...
It's the snacking habit.
Can
right?
I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you? This is one of the things I've been dying for our next session, man. Is I need to stop sugar, bro. I said I just need to stop it now.
Bro,
That-
don't
that-
call
wait,
it
wait,
control,
wait, wait,
control.
wait, wait. That
Bro,
wasn't,
don't call
that
it
wasn't
sugar.
sugar.
Call it by what its real name is.
What is it?
Poison. It's cancer.
No, but
It's
wait,
poison.
wait. Guys, that wasn't
Diabetes.
sugar.
All of what it is.
Cancer powder.
Now, Sheikh, you told me that was made naturally. That was made naturally, right?
Which one?
the thing is just,
Cinnamon
Wait.
roll bun.
Yeah, natural. Yeah.
yeah, the guy doesn't
It's
use
still got
any-
poison.
I don't
in
think
it,
there's
bro.
sugar in there. No, I
It's
don't
still
think there's
got-
sugar.
What do you mean you don't think, Sheikh? You told me.
You don't even know what you're eating. That's
You told me.
What I meant by natural is
You
they made it in the house.
What?
They still put poison. No.
Sheikh is killing me.
No, I don't think.
Homemade.
See the sugar coming out for Fawaz, bro. Fawaz boy sugar. So now he's had it. He's like,
Natural tend to homemade shit. Come
No,
on.
listen.
Oh my
No, I don't think the brother, like I told you.
Bro,
homemade chocolate brownie. I say it's natural.
Bro, I told you the brother, he gets his milk from the cow. Like, literally, he's like, it has to be from the cow.
Yeah, but what does he add to the milk that he gets from the
No. Trust, he's actually legit. He's legit. Like, he's proper health
It
conscious.
was clean.
Okay, but
I
the
think
point
it's
is
clean, yeah.
everything in moderation.
No, you're right. All right, that's one, right?
Bro,
What else?
you know what you need to do?
Go on,
Oh, so
please.
it's
You need to learn
We're
to
on
eat like
you.
a white
Yeah,
man.
start with me. Start with me. Huh?
You need to learn to eat like a white man. No, you need to learn to eat like a white woman.
How does a white woman eat?
No rice after 5 p.m. Like an Eastern European woman.
Why does she eat like that?
It's haram for them to eat rice after 5 p.m. معروف هذا. It's known. They don't eat rice after 5 p.m.
From like a health perspective or like
From their
dieting
health,
or
to preserve their health, to preserve
Oh.
their beauty. كده.
You want me to not eat rice after 5 p.m.?
I think you've eaten enough rice after 5 p.m. for the rest of your life.
You know, one thing I used to just
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're right.
خلاص bro. And I'm saying this من باب المحبة
Yeah.
شيخ.
I appreciate it.
You said الأرواح جنود المجندة. right?
Yeah.
Bro, come on, man. You know something? I have a very dear friend, very, very dear friend. You would have loved this guy if you met him.
Mm.
You would have loved him. He's the most
But he's dead?
helpful guy you will ever meet, and funny guy as well.
Okay.
On Eid, first day of Eid, after I met you, I went to see him in the hospital.
Ooh.
He's our age. He had a brain stroke.
Oof.
And like, inshallah, he makes a full recovery. They said that he will.
Inshallah.
But
Inshallah.
like, he wasn't able to move one part of his body. And he's our age. You get what I mean? And why did it happen to him? No exercise, snacks. You get what I mean, bro? You get what I mean? And I'll tell you something, you know,
Put
like,
sugar in there just before I came.
well, Maryam, I'll tell you something.
Mm.
Like, you know, it's a reflection, maybe a lesson. It was on Eid day, first day of Eid. I finished with you and I'm traveling the same day.
Yeah, I remember you told us. You said
Yeah, I was traveling the same
he
day.
was supposed to come with you.
So imagine the perceived inconvenience in my head. Now I gotta go to a hospital visit and I'm traveling in a few hours. And it's Eid. You get what I mean? I gotta do my own family visits and all of that stuff. So, but when I went, wallahi, and this happened, wallahi, when I went inside and I just entered the room and I saw him, I remembered the hadith Qudsi. You know, and I don't like to be the one that, I like let you guys quote the hadiths. I don't like to be the one who quotes hadiths, but I'm just saying how it is.
Yeah.
I remember the hadith Qudsi where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Prophet Muhammad says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to his servant on the day of judgment, "Oh my servant, I was sick and you didn't visit me."
Mm-hmm.
And then the slave, the human will say to Allah, like, how are you sick when you are Allah? You know? He said, so and so was sick and you didn't visit him. Had you visited him, you would have found me.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the hadith?
Yep.
Is that the hadith? Wallahi, bro, when I entered the room, I felt like wujud malaika in the room, like
The presence of angels.
the present. I felt it there. And the guy is a funny guy as well, but he's got like the most incredible heart. And like if I mention his ma'roof that he's done for me and that he shouldn't have done it for so many people, Zibda, ya Sheikh, wallah, I was not happy looking at that guy That guy that's put smile on my face and so many people's faces, sitting in that bed. And it was all because of those two things. Lack of exercise and snacks. Snacks. Look how they give like a nice
Name to it.
an innocent name to something that can kill you. Snacks. Oh, it's just a snack. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, the devil does this a lot. He always changes the name, right?
Fornication is sleeping.
No, they even call women snacks.
No, hold on.
Really?
Yeah, she can kill you too.
When a woman she's sleeping and she's cheating on her man, what does the devil call it? He says she's having an affair.
Or was it entanglement?
What did she say? What was that?
An entanglement.
That's the word.
Yeah,
That's what she said.
entanglement.
Oh my God! Wallah, she got it straight from Iblis.
She's an
But the point
adulteress.
is, look, it's from lack of
I'm
riyadh.
not saying she, but just joining.
Hey, yeah. Okay, cool. So is it that there's one?
No, you all have to give me one each.
Or everyone has to give one separate each?
Yeah, go on.
No, but did this sink in with him?
It's sunk in.
No.
Yeah. But don't go to an extreme either, otherwise you're gonna relapse.
No, go to an extreme because then
Go
you'll
to an
find the
extreme.
middle.
So here's the thing, yeah. I've gone to extremes and it hasn't worked. I've just been trying to slowly bring in healthy habits. Like definitely, I'm healthier than I was a year.
No,
Fawaz, let's do a live session. No, you're waiting for the next session.
No, this is fundamentally the key thing when it comes
Give it to
all
us.
of these things, right? There's things that are gonna kill you, like whether you have a lot of it or a little of it, you just shouldn't have at all, right? Just try to avoid it as much as possible.
Ultra processed food.
Yes, and then there's things that are like, if you're gonna have it, just have it once and just chill out. Do you know what I'm saying? So what I don't do, it's quite simple. Just don't stock unhealthy food in the house, and it'll get to a
I don't actually.
but sugar.
I don't have unhealthy food.
You don't have sugar in your
Bro, you started there.
No, sugar's run out. It's
You
just
you started there for a bit.
no.
No sugar,
There's no sugar.
You don't have a Kit Kat?
Except no, there's no sugar in the house
except
for the brown sugar that Tim Horton sends me every morning
okay. Don't.
with my cappuccino.
No.
Okay, I won't.
Sheikh, you know, once you go cold turkey, by the way, I ran this test. There was actually a client, an employee I have, right? And I was speaking to the employee, and the employee actually developed candy in their gut.
Candy.
Candia, it's something like that, right? It's basically super fungal bacteria in their gut. And then, it's a issue. But she started to grow hives.
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 You know,
You know when your skin start to like swell and spots start to swell, etc. You know?
I thought a beehive started growing in her neck the way you said that. Like I thought a bee was gonna come out of man's neck.
It's funny because she thought it was honey. All right, she thought she was allergic to honey.
Okay.
Right, so she stopped having. I'm so confused. I don't even.
A beehive.
I don't even know what.
Bro, listen, Fawaz, hold on.
I actually don't even know what's happening.
Listen, medical conditions, if you're not certain of the names,
Bro, I'm telling you, it's called the
No,
hives.
it's called the hives. Yeah,
It's
it's
called
called
the
the
hives.
You grow or develop.
No, you just get hives in your skin. It's like
The man said,
man
said she started
if
to
you
grow hives.
scratch, it's like little circles.
I'm
it's like spots,
it
but like
grows,
maybe
right?
bigger, yeah.
It has to grow, surely.
Appears. Hives appear.
No. Things can't appear.
hives are built.
Whatever, my bad.
Hives are built.
All right.
I'm
my bad.
so confused. Like,
Man said he saw a bee coming out of her neck. Anyway, this is why we don't do more than one podcast a day. Carry on.
no, I don't think that's the issue. I think it's all the sugar.
The natural sugar.
All the brown one, Tim Hortons.
Okay.
No, but yeah, it actually mashed her. It properly, like she got really ill at one stage, etc. And basically, so I was speaking to her, I goes, how did you solve it? She goes, I went cold turkey, right? She goes, the first 13 days were the worst things in the world. It was like the temptation. She'd get headaches. She'd get super fatigued. And then after that.
I mean, I've been on sugar detox before. After 2-3 days, I'm calm.
I think, Sheikh, the underlying issue I think we all probably want to highlight more than diet is being intentional, right? That's the whole point.
That's the point.
Brother Zarir mentioned, Fawaz mentioned, if you're going to have something, like plan it, be intentional. Like I'm going to next Saturday, go out with
that's
the
a very good
family,
point.
have a burger. So it's not like you're falling for it.
Yeah, no,
Because
that's a
Well,
good
I'm
point.
going to come to the podcast studio. I'm going to have 3 cookies.
3 cookies. I'm
Not
just going to
just-
do it next Saturday.
I don't even
To
go
the
like,
point where these men stop stocking cookies now. Like, right, the cookie monster.
man sit on the cookie monster.
Because that
Who
habit
took the
sips
cookies
into
from the
other
cookie
things as
jar?
well.
I'm just
that habit sips into
impulse control.
You're right.
impulse control. Yeah,
Impulse
because that habit
Right.
sips into other things. Remember, Sheikh, we're having the discussion. We were talking, Sheikh, the other day on the Money Show. Some people buy Rolex and make sense of it by saying it's an asset. I can sell it. It's like carrying cash. I can go to the United States and sell it and liquidate.
You know, the funny one is networking.
Yeah, this is for networking. Exactly. My thing is, don't try to make sense with any of these. Okay, being intentional, like, hey, this is my guilty pleasure. I love timepieces. Buy it. That's it. Why are you making sense of it? It's an asset. Who's asking for those explanations? Nothing.
Barakallah.
Be intentional and do it. Nobody's judging you for wearing it. Nobody's judging you for not wearing it. But just be intentional with what you're doing. Don't fall for it because Abu Bakr has a nice car. I need a nice car. Or I have a nice car. No, I love nice cars. I'll get one. I don't care about cars. I'll drive my Geely or take an Uber. That's about it.
True. Before we jump back into the podcast, I need to share something with you that changed everything for me. Last year was one of the hardest years of my life. My health was at an all-time low. I had constant fatigue, brain fog, massive weight gain. My marriage, it was the hardest year of my married life. My business, I had setback after setback. Even my salah was suffering due to the lack of khushu' and my seeking knowledge. I was in a terrible place until I sat down with the Muslim entrepreneur coach on this podcast, namely Brother Fawaz. And he made a bold claim. He said, I help Muslim entrepreneurs make 10x more money whilst working 4 times less, at the same time showing them how to thrive in their marriages, in their health, and in their religion. Truth be told, it was a bold claim. I wasn't entirely convinced, but what's a man to do when he's desperate? I needed a solution. So I joined his Live by Design mentorship. And I can swear to you by Allah, it changed everything for me with Allah's permission. I am now making more money than ever before. I am also working less. In fact, I work very few hours, but the Live by Design program has showed me how I can get a week's worth of work done in just a few hours every single day. I feel healthier than ever before. I'm turning up better than ever before. My family is happy with me and my salah is back. And my seeking of knowledge is thriving with Allah's permission. And just to be clear, I'm not the only one. One of Fawaz's mentees on his program was making just 13K a month while struggling in his life. Just 6 months later is doing $500,000 a month. Allah Mabarak. So here's the truth. If you're a Muslim entrepreneur that's making at least 100K every year, but you know that you're operating far from your actual potential and these other areas of your life that are very important are struggling, then Fawaz's Live by Design mentorship might just be the thing for you. But please be warned, it's not easy, nor is it cheap. But if you're ready to live a life that you design with Allah's permission, then check out the link below in the description of this video. This is the program that changed my life with Allah's permission. And it might just change yours as well, inshallah. With that said, let's get back into the podcast.
I don't think it should be that one person gets all 5. I feel like let's just do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Let's move on to the next guy.
Go on.
So,
Chat to me.
Give it to me. You?
Yeah, go on.
Bro, Anna, I don't have criticism of you. Because, Anna, when I look at you, I've said this to you before, I remember, how old are you?
Wallahi, la yajuz.
No, let's not.
28.
She's not allowed in this game.
I'm coming to it. Don't worry. But how old are you?
28.
You're 28. I remember some of me when I was in my 20s in you, but you are more mature.
I'm being surrounded by brothers like yourself, so that's why.
You are more mature, and you're mature beyond your age, and you've made moves in business and in life that brothers would make, with experience in their late 30s or mid 30s. You've done it in your mid 20s.
That's exactly how I see Fawaz.
The talk he's giving you is killing you, by the way.
No.
Because it's the same talk they give me that kills me.
No.
Wallahi, we're doing trash for our ages. We should be looking at the ones that are exceptional at our age.
So go on, give him
this makes us stagnate.
Okay, give him the
this,
ruleness.
This uncle advice.
Give him the ruleness.
I'm gonna give him the ruleness. This uncle advice causes stagnation. If we look, I always say, if everyone's on their knees, the guy who stands on his feet seems tall. Do you get what I'm saying? We live in a world where average is so average. Wallahi, just do something small. Oh, mashallah, you're doing so well for your age, etc. I say, study when that's why they say when there's a statement in Arabic. I don't know if maybe you know it. When the Salaf are mentioned, we become exposed. You know, when you mention the Salaf, we become exposed. I say study the greats until you feel that embarrassed. Like I'm taking a mick out of my life.
Bro, that's without a doubt. That's without a doubt. So you need to always, when you assess someone, you need to assess him two ways. Yeah? When you assess someone, you need to assess him two ways. You need to assess him against his peers, and then you need to assess him amongst
his potential.
The greats of the past that you're talking about. You need to do both assessments. So when I assess Abu Bakr, when I assess him in terms of...
Snap, it's because you guys don't know how to play the game. The rule, I remember I told you this, the rule when we play the game, when the criticism is being mentioned, there's no praise allowed.
It's a 360 audit, bro. A 360
audit. There's no praise allowed when we play this.
Yeah, the whole point of this is just
that's fair enough.
I didn't clarify.
That's fair enough. No, that's fair enough. So if I'm gonna criticize him,
or I know Fawaz has some.
Because
the moment he said I don't have criticism, you grabbed this and you looked at Bakr as if you got stuff to say.
He was frustrated at him.
If you got one,
it's not even specifically towards brother Abu Bakr.
Does anyone have anything for Abu Bakr right now?
Yeah, of course we do.
Go on, give it to him.
Yeah, Bismillah. Firstly, you can't use the excuse of being blue.
Can't use the excuse of being blue.
What's blue, bro? Can somebody tell me what's blue? You guys have been mentioning.
Yeah, do a 60-second summary because we mentioned it often. I don't think we ever explained.
Guys, from the book, it's a reference from the book surrounded by idiots. Blues are more detail oriented. They show very lack of emotion, and they're just always pointing out any mistakes. Do you have a better?
No, analytical person.
Analytical.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
The analytical people, detail oriented. Yeah, it's not an excuse to be a blue. Sometimes we have to learn to show emotion. We have to learn to be yellows. We have to learn to be like, and if you look at the Prophet ﷺ, what made him like Allah, like he's such a perfect man is his ability to adjust. Like not to say give the Prophet ﷺ colors, but when you read the book, you see descriptions of each color, you see them that the Prophet ﷺ has their traits.
Mm-hmm.
So being flexible and fluid, I'm not saying let go of who you are as a person, but in certain situations, I think you should be more fluid. You need to be more fluid. I know you need to be more fluid.
Any examples?
Not that I can think of right now. But as they occur, don't worry, this is what I do. As they happen, I'll be like, yeah, sure, this is what I know.
I got one for you as well.
Go on.
So you know I've been no stranger at giving you feedback and criticism throughout the rest of your life. And the overwhelming majority of things that I've criticised you for, I think you've shown tremendous improvement. Allah Mbedi. I have a new criticism for you. This is new.
You guys are ruining the game.
Say again?
See that whole, this destroys the game. See that whole piece you said before you gave the criticism, it ruins it. You guys don't know how I'm Dracula.
Do you know why?
I need to go to the toilet anyway.
Dracula.
Listen, why don't you give us the rules?
This is what you need to fix.
All right, give us the rules.
The context is
1
valid.
second.
Do you know why?
Let him,
Sheikh, trust me, it's not allowed.
Let me give it.
Let him explain the rules. 1 second. Can you explain all the rules?
Trust me, this destroys the game. We've tested this so many times.
So what are the rules?
If you want this to be effective, just say, you need to fix this. This is why I finished.
Okay.
No,
let me tell you
you've done so well in your life, but...
Okay.
I'm going to toilet as well.
Is that part of the rules of the game?
No,
everyone has to remain at the table. That's part of the Chama Bay rules. Okay, تفضل.
It's the second episode you just gone to the toilet in the middle of the discussion.
Zarir, you might as well just...
Okay. The matcha.
Yes, I don't know.
So
I think if Zarir is there, because then there won't be an empty chair in the shop.
I'll tell you what your issue.
But then just swap back once he comes back.
But Sheikh, wait for him too.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Sugar's in my head. All right, look. Can we start? Okay.
Should we wait for Fawaz so you can hear it as well? Because he made the point of his... Oh, you can watch it back. Anyway, go on.
Watch it back. Yeah. So, you're plateauing.
Okay.
You're plateauing in your growth. Do you understand? So, now you're at a point where you've made improvement. If you're not growing, you're going to start to actually regress. Do you understand? You got to a point where it's like now just wake up again. Find that next level. I was reading about Henry Ford. He came up with the idea to democratize the automobile.
Mm-hmm.
So before the Ford Model T, cars were only a luxury, and only the wealthiest people could afford it. He wanted to make the automobile accessible for the average lay American. we wanted to make it 54% cheaper than it was in the market. He did achieve that. 16 million Americans purchased that car, and it changed transport. Like they made horse riding on the streets obsolete. Now, their competitor at the time was GM, General Motors. And Ford completely blew them out the water because they had this massive goal. When they achieved that goal, they plateaued, they stopped growing, and that's why all these other car companies outpaced Ford. None of them should have outpaced Ford. They were the first to make that level of growth and expansion and so on and so forth. If you now contrast that with Boeing. Boeing used to make planes for the military. They never used to make commercial planes.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to now come into the commercial market before it really even existed. They had the type of plane that they used to do before that, like for commercial purposes, was like it was a different type of plane. They wanted to bring the technology from the military side into this. Everyone told them, no, you won't be able to do it. They risked everything on creating I think it was a 707. And when they made the 707, it took them years to build the plane. The company almost got destroyed in the process, but they finally got it. When they made it, they straight away said, now we're going to create the jumbo jet. I think it was the 747, right? It's a jumbo jet. Again, the same thing. They kept giving themselves targets that were these big, hairy, audacious goals that would keep them having to just work even harder. There was never a finish line that we've achieved and that we can now relax at. It was like, okay, no, as soon as I finish that, what's the next one? What's the next one? Otherwise you die, man, and people will outpace you.
I think one day you're going to look back and realize that I had so much more in me than I actually actualized, if that makes sense. Like, even with all the achievements, that's why I say it's not really compared to your peers, because maybe your peers don't have potential. Some people, like, everyone has potential, but yani, some guys, sarahatan, we look at them like he can achieve, but there's guys where it's like, wallah, if only you knew what was inside you. And I think you're one of those people I look at like, wallah, I wish he knew what was inside him.
You know, I got one.
Go on.
I think you're really, really good at so many things. And
It was a trap. It was a trap, Sheikh. He fell for it. It's a trap. You fell. Without knowing, I knew it's a trap. Yeah. Without knowing, I knew it's a trap.
I knew when he whispered in his ear.
No. But I second Abu Maryam's. And I remember I told you something a long time ago. I won't go into the details now. You know, and maybe it's similar to what Abu Maryam said. I told you, you gotta cut the trees.
Cut the trees.
Remember?
No,
When we were on the boat in the marina?
I don't remember.
Said you gotta cut the trees. I'll explain it to you off camera because
Okay.
I can't explain it on camera.
خلاص.
And then you said, yeah. And then you looked at Abu Maryam, and you said, yeah. See, sometimes you have to cut the trees.
But explain it.
No, I can't.
We can cut it out later.
No, I don't even want it to be on the
Recording.
on the recorded one.
Okay.
You got
So
it?
I want to tell you something.
Yeah.
So basically, pretty much in agreement with all the brothers, because I think me and Sheikh was also having this discussion in the car a few days ago. Basically, we all have this natural strength, like being blue, yellow, red, green. But a true leader can tap onto like the weaker side as needed, right? So I could be a natural red, I could be a natural yellow or a blue. But when I'm talking to someone, I'm negotiating, let's say in my world, with someone who's, let's say, a blue, but I'm a yellow. I'm not talking to him about the vision, $1 billion fund, we're going to take over. For him, it's like total waste of time. What is this guy talking about, right? For him, because he's a blue, now it's hard for me. It's a stress on me to bring my blue out, but I need to just bring my blue out. So I'm in agreement with what the brother said. Just being conscious of that and bringing it out, because mashallah, when we do these righteous rides trips and everything, you are in leadership position, right? So with some people, just to get the better out of them, to get more out of them, when you see like their character is more yellow, more red, you just bring that side out of you. Because we all have, but smaller percentages. So you just tap onto it and you just force it to bring out, inshallah.
Barakallah fi. طيب, who's next?
Give it to me.
Go on. So you,
One second, let me get
mashallah,
my notes section.
tabarakallah. You need to allow people to disagree with you. And stand your ground and respond without getting frustrated.
Yeah, so basically you're telling him he needs to stop banging the table at restaurants and podcast studios.
No. I'll tell you exactly what I'm talking about. So no. I'll tell you exactly what I'm talking about. So there was one day after Fajr, me and some of the brothers, we were talking, right? And we're talking about business, right? And he disagreed with us. So he had the right to disagree with us. But he just got angry and he ran off.
Ran.
He literally ran.
Ran.
Yeah,
Ran.
Yeah, literally ran. It was the strangest thing to me. Like, as in,
He actually ran.
he ran.
I walked off.
He ran.
Okay, he walked faster. That's how you reconcile the two reports.
He ran.
Have you seen me run?
Huh?
I'm Nigerian.
He trotted.
Okay, he trotted. He didn't sprint, but okay, he jogged.
Yeah.
He jogged away. And I was so confused. And the way it happened, well, I was confused. Like,
that's like a big insult. Like, to walk away is insulting, but then to jog away, like that, nobody does that. You know what I mean? It's like, imagine you have
I need to get away from you guys.
You're having a disagreement, and then the guy just goes for a jog.
So look what happened, yeah. Then there was another occasion where the same thing happened again. But this time, I learned my lesson. I was like, you know what? Okay, let me not disagree with the brother.
You start jogging with him.
No. So I think someone else was talking to him. I can't even remember exactly what it was. But he ran again. I was like, oh, okay, this is a thing. I was like, this is an issue. This is not.
You know what it's called?
Yeah.
Abrupt departures.
Yeah. No. And I clocked. It happens. There's a theme. It's like, if you disagree with someone,
you leave.
You get angry. Yeah, as in,
bro,
you can't do that.
So you just deep something.
Can I mention something?
I need to land. The Boeing 747 is there.
That's a bad example to give right now.
What?
It's the one that just crashed. Anyway, go on.
Was it a 747?
No, it was 787.
787, sorry. 787.
No, 747, brother. Because what that does is it makes people want to not give you feedback. And you can disagree with the feedback. That's cool. And you could be more self-aware than the feedback that they're giving you. That's also very, very possible. But you don't ever want to be in a situation where someone can see a scorpion on your back that you can't see and say, you know, I'm going to let that scorpion sting him, because otherwise he's going to sting me. Him stinging me is long. Just let the scorpion get it. And there'll be people around you that will just watch you die. Just watch the black mamba wrap around you and just like, and then well, why don't you help your brother? And it's like, look at all these bite marks.
I'll make sure
good analogy.
They've spent so much time together. I've just clocked it. They spent so much time together. It was his job to like do a deep dive on him, but what he didn't know is that he did a deep dive on him as well.
No, you got the self-aware thing going on, Badik. You're good. You know stuff, but no. This is a negative. I'm about to land on a negative. But
he's waiting to bite.
I'm saying, but what that can develop though, it can develop a concept of like, I know, and it's true. But the person
was so visual. What you just said, it was so visual.
No, the analogy was so good.
I was seeing it myself. I was like seeing as a scorpion on his back.
And we're just sitting there.
And then a python wrapping around him. And everyone's just there, like, bite marks all over.
Bro, this guy is dangerous. Hold on, the way you did it.
So that's me. This plane has landed. This plane has landed.
That day, the whole football team.
Bro, listen.
Football was gay, kind of. I feel like, bearing in mind the brother was a reaver and this and...
Give the context.
As in, so the brother was just talking about football and...
audience don't know what you're talking about. He said that day with the football was gay. There's no context there.
No, so they was just talking about football and... Bro, I agree so much that...
He wants to run.
They were talking about football and he wanted to... No, he didn't run. What did he say? The guy's talking about football and Fawaz Ishola. I just like abruptly disrupted the conversation. Just said football is gay.
No.
And they're like,
they were talking about it. Eventually, he mentioned he was like, football's gay. Like, but my point is that look, there's a way to disagree, 100%. Even I disagree with the brother as well. Like, football, bro, it's a waste of time. 90 minutes, you can watch you guys watch forward, back and forth. His point that he was making, he was like, look, like if I watch one game every now and again or this and that, and I agree with you, even one game, 90 minutes, there's so much of your time that's wasted. Bro, this might have been a guy that spent his, as you said, football's like a religion. This guy might have actually been, before he reverted Islam,
been a follower.
He might have been a follower of that religion. So for him, it's like whoa, what do you mean football?
You
Like,
insulted his God?
I understood that like women is wrong and alcohol is wrong. And I've let all those things go. Now you're telling me that football's like this haram. And it's not so much the fact that you can disagree, because you can disagree, but it's just the way you go about it. I feel like it was a bit too shadid with the brother.
Bro, he's not good at getting feedback. Look at his voice.
I'll say he's good at it. I mean, wait, I can't praise him.
He's gonna blow. I can feel the heat, bro. I'm sitting next to him. It's getting hot here. You gotta put the air conditioning on. ما تصل شغل المكيف طال عمرك والله.
No, can't say something. Fawaz actually good at listening to advice. He is.
Why do I feel the heat? Huh?
Football is gay.
No, but you know what's funny? When did we do the Oman trip? Like 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago? Now, when he said football is gay, for the rest of the trip, like everyone was gay checking everybody because of Fawaz. Like somebody would say something, somebody would say something, and then like, no, you can't do that. And then he's like, why not? Because that's gay. Because that's gay. Everything became gay. Then, we have to gay check everybody.
Set the standard.
You know what happened? I went to the other place of Oman this weekend, right? It like spilled over to there. One guy was like, he's like, yeah, I do this, I do that, I do marathons. And then one guy, he's like, marathons are gay. It's not ending now. This thing is not ending.
I'll be real with you. You know that you came back to me. You were there.
Yeah.
What did he say when he came back?
Yeah, he said we have agreement.
He goes, we're on the same side.
Barakallah fiqh.
Now he's spending his time doing some great things along Betty.
I'm so happy to hear that, because I was actually worried that
as well.
Yeah, I was worried that.
By the way, you didn't clock what kind of rave it was. He's not the like just one day like early, like some reverts are a bit more deep in the game, and then you know what I mean.
He's deep in the game.
Like deep enough to be spoken to in that way.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
I didn't spend enough time with him and tell him enough to see that.
100%. Because when you say
you man were in the same car together, right?
Yeah.
So you man spent like 10 hours together. Yeah.
People are gonna think like the guy came to Islam yesterday. You were telling him Islam is football is gay. I'm just putting that on the table. Yeah.
Just a commentary on this, Sheikh. I think at a commentary, Sheikh, not a comment. I mean, not something. Not an attack, but just a commentary on what the brothers mentioned. I think that leadership style, right? It becomes more effective over time when your reputation precedes you, Sheikh. So this growing phase, there'll be like a pain, because not a lot of people yet know where Fawaz is coming from, right? But inshallah, give it like 3 to 5 years with the work that you're doing, and it gets more global, inshallah. Then the reputation precedes Fawaz. So before he shows up, before he tells the guy football is gay,
they know.
As soon as he walks, they know, oops,
football is gay.
Football is gay, So with that reputation there, then when he says something, there's like, okay, like everybody's motivated, everybody wants to go through the wall. But just this phase, it will be a little bit tough with that stuff.
Is the he introduced gay checking. Not he gay checks everybody else. You know what I mean?
This is not true.
Huh? Just kid.
Come on, who's next? Let's go to Zarir.
I didn't even get proper attacks. I'm trying to leave home with something. I did this exercise, yeah? 5 years ago.
Sheikh one was good.
Yeah. I did this exercise 5 years ago, brothers, yeah? Mm-hmm. I had a list of like 15, 17 stuff.
I've got more of the conversations.
As in the point is there's been one per person.
Yeah, one per person.
Yeah. That's one for him, one for me, one for you.
Oh no,
I thought it was like leave him dead.
I can round two. I'll come back for round two.
I'm happy to delegate
I'm just trying to visit the brother, the sheikh over here. I'm just trying to get me over done with, so I can come back alive and bite some more. You get me?
Go on, Zarir.
I'm happy to delegate my criticism of Fawaz to you, bro.
Go on, Zarir. Let's go to Zarir.
God.
Fawaz, you start.
Too much woman, man. Just if you just stop talking so much about women, I would love you 10x more.
Listen, hold on a sec.
You're not allowed to respond.
Whoa. Man's not holding on for no second.
But I said, no one's allowed to defend themselves except me.
He did say it. You're right. You did say it, but
now hold on a second. Do I talk about business more than women?
Ack.
I was about to take a nap. I haven't even slept. I was about to take a nap.
This is a.
And what did I do? Did I get up?
Leading question.
Did I get up from my sleep? Talk to you about women. Talk to you about business.
I don't answer leading question.
Huh?
I don't answer leading question.
No, that talk to you about business. And I only talk about women.
Zarir talks too much about women, guys.
When it's appropriate. And listen, what is life without women? مالي وكتم حب قد برى جسدي.
No matter what he says, guys, I'm gonna tell you guys.
I think that's
No. I'm gonna tell you why this is so important. Because, see, women, as great as they are also a distraction. Do you get what I'm saying?
Not to me.
I know not to you. Right? I know everything is perfect.
No, they are a distraction.
No, Sheikh. Sheikh, no, not to him, Sheikh.
No.
You don't understand, Sheikh.
It's for his benefit.
No, he's special, Sheikh.
No.
No.
That's the
Don't
line.
worry, Sheikh.
No, don't say I'm special.
So you know.
No.
If
you want to hit me, if you want to hit me, you know what's the word?
Coming.
No, you know what's the word? No, you know what you say? You say he's different. Because you know that's what guys say. It's like when the girl has all the red flags, and then he's like, "But she's different."
Yeah, notice what you just brought up there. Perfect. So, what's this area?
All right, go on.
Women, stop talking about them so much. You know, talk about deep diving. Talk about anything that's not. I even have the opinion, and I've said this multiple times. Talking about women too much is also gay. Why?
Can I just say something? Yeah, just to give some context.
And the heart becomes shriveled when it has too much woman.
But I think the context you're about to mention is same thing to my mind, but then I realised we're not here to give context. We're here to just.
No, I think context is important though, because otherwise it won't necessarily.
You guys can.
You're gonna say he's reduced a lot.
No.
Fundamentally, I don't see the cameras. I'm just giving my brother's feedback. If you guys want to bleep, snip, you guys cut whatever you want.
No, yeah, of course. Like, we're talking unfiltered right now. Yeah. Look, I think here's the thing. Obviously, I know when there's times when he's talking about women, and actually I know he's just trying to warn brothers and advise brothers. Do you understand? I know he really passionately believes this thing. Do you get me? And it's true because it's been a madness. Like the way men have been, tossed
around.
Yeah, and indoctrinated to basically, have their own genitals for dessert that have been fed to them, by the ops. I understand that we need to have these conversations. That's not really what my issue is. My issue is more of it's like in your mind. Like, stop talking about them to yourself.
How do you know that I do that?
Because I know you very well.
Yeah.
Shati why?
I don't know that I do that.
You do. Because Ibn Qayyim said that the tongue is like a spoon. It scoops up what's in the heart. So my thing is that this topic occupies a big part of your heart. And my feedback to you is actually what he's saying plus something else, which is that you this is getting tricky. You have to move on from your trauma.
Is that what you said to Sam? In the previous podcast.
Okay. But why did I say that to Sam?
Why let it go.
But let me finish.
Why did I say that to Sam? Because I done that.
He laughs at it. But but my thing is.
But yours is a dark laugh.
Yeah.
It's not a laugh. Yeah, there's a difference between.
No, but it's not just. But
this is a dark.
No. Zarir obviously has experienced weakness in amongst the brothers, and I can only imagine how depressing that must be to have to in your youth be around like weak brothers, and these are the guys that are practicing. These are the guys who represent Islam, and it's like, that's just fat and weak and meek, and obviously you wanted to distance from that because there was a cognitive dissonance. You're obviously a man, Allah barik, about your thing, and having these type of people around you was holding you back. Okay, they're on their deen, but they are like weak men. I'm saying, I hear you, but that's not the case no more. So you kind of need to just disconnect from that trauma and re-embrace re-embrace the good stuff from what you had in the past. Do you know what I'm saying? But just without the bad stuff.
One thing I would say that maybe you lot are guilty of, I don't know, but one thing I'm definitely guilty of, because Zarid's got the stigma as the woman guy. So it's like, even me, when I'm around him, I'll bring up conversations, I'll talk about it because it's like I'm with the guy. You know, does that make sense? So I feel like even us sometimes we do that without sometimes even realizing it. And that's something that,
I did consciously. I told him when he said to me the other day.
Stop talking about women too.
One second. And what did I say to you? What did I say to you?
I only do it when I'm actually with Zarir.
Yeah. I said I'm amusing my brother. I'm humoring my brother. As in, he likes to talk about it.
But he's actually changed though. Like, that's one thing I've realized as well. He has actually changed.
You guys,
he's improved.
But it's actually rare that I will see him spark a conversation about women.
Yeah, but
usually someone around him will say something and then
I'm saying, I wish you guys knew what it does to the heart. If you actually just stopped, like just leave these lot, right? Just in the way they are. Just, you know what I mean? I'm not talking about, look, I jumped into your women convos too. Why? When it's actually like, this is something mufid, brothers need to hear it, but the other stuff, it destroys the heart. And I hate it because you always suffer. You feel it, man. You feel it when you get yard.
It's true. I mean, look,
I feel it. I'm married, bro.
His rebuttal, I'll tell him, Abu Bakr, I have a fever. You need a wife.
So the Asian parents, they say you paracetamol. Mama failed my exams. Paracetamol. Paracetamol.
I, by the way, that's mad. That never happened to us. That's your experience.
What?
You overdosed on paracetamol.
No, it's like a common, like online. It's just like a stigma.
Okay, I thought that was your experience.
No.
Just before we jump back into the podcast, I need to share something with you that's been weighing heavy on my heart for a few years. For years, you guys have asked me, is there a real way to make massive, passive wealth without touching riba? And truth be told, I didn't have a good answer for you. Most options available just seem like riba that's been rebranded as halal mortgages. And if the option is halal, then it's usually too risky, too scammy, or too slow. And then I came across Brother Sam Amin, who has $100 million of Muslim investor money invested in real estate. And this blew my mind. Here we have a guy who's helping people become multimillionaires through investing in real estate without riba. When I heard about it, I didn't jump on the opportunity straight away. I actually investigated it. And I observed the brother for over a year. I met his investors that have made millions on the back of investing with him. One of his investors actually is an uncle who had humble savings that now have compounded into $7 million plus, Allahumma barik, in just a few years. His deal structure is actually amazing. You enter into a joint venture with him and his team manage it 100%. Within 2 years, you're expected to receive a 50% return on your investment, Allahumma barik, and there's no haram. It honestly got really emotional for me because we now have a vehicle that doesn't compromise your deen, nor does it compromise your ambition. So that's why I felt compelled to share this good news with you. So look, if you're serious about wealth creation and you have at least $100,000 liquid, ready to invest and deploy within 30 days, and you want your money to move, you want it to multiply without any haram, then Sam's newest development project here in Dubai might just be your ticket to generational wealth. Now, if this appeals to you, it's important that you know that over $5 million has already been committed to this fund. And this round is going to be closing very soon, inshallah. I've placed the link to apply to invest in his fund in the description of this video below. Alhamdulillah, this opportunity is real, and so is the window. With that said, let's get back into the podcast. No, listen. The thing is this, yeah. I came across a statement of the Salaf the other day, so I actually agreed for us. They said 4 things kill the heart. Yeah. Number 1, moving across women to women and talking to a lot of women.
Talking to or about?
No, talking to.
Talking to.
So I was like, if talking to, then talking about them obviously is a branch of that, isn't it? Then the next thing is, so basically too much women stuff can kill the heart. The second thing is talking to a person and just arguing with him. And I forgot the other 2.
That's why I run away.
Yeah. But we're not talking about women, bro. We're talking about business.
No, we say too much arguing.
Okay. No, you don't have to run away.
You know what made me actually start running? Because I never used to. I would go till the end, but then I heard the hadith. You know, the one who leaves the argument. You know, so I was like, you know what?
Listen. But I'm gonna clarify. Okay, just so I don't care about the cameras, just so everybody on this table remembers, because they know this.
Yeah.
All right. On my priority list of priorities, women are not even on the list. Okay. And when I talk about, yes, when I'm with the boys,
how can you say women are not on the list?
They're not on the list. So, brother, I'm being real. They're not on the list. Okay.
The thing is, I actually believe you.
Yeah, actually believe
like, yeah, I don't dispute this.
I'm telling you, all right? When I'm with the boys, there's only two things that I talk about: business and women. Now, when I talk about women, the times that I talk about women, it's two kinds of conversation. It's either beneficial things or fun, to laugh. And this is normal guy talk. If I'm going to stop doing it, it will continue until Judgment Day.
So his
All right?
Look. By the way,
his point is not, don't do it.
No, not even that. It's like, you know, when I think of like,
I believe it's a good conversation starter. Like, for example,
there's aspects of it that, again, I literally mentioned this. There's aspects of it that are beneficial. The brothers need to know, and sometimes we're even learning from each other.
No, but it's not always educational. Like sometimes for fun. And it's true. Like when I see brothers, one of the best ways to break ice, because most people that straight away that conversation just builds rapport quickly, and then it's like, all right, let's get down to business.
If that's the way I look at it, it's just like when it's like I'm in a group of like exceptional brothers, and these are brothers that are just trying to build something fantastic. And the topic of like this woman and this joke, it sounds like literally what an average shab, like an average, like it reminds me of the circles that I ran away from sometimes.
I hear you.
Like those.
brother, but I'm going to tell you something. Yani, you cannot decide when a group like wants to have that kind of fun conversation or not. Just, you get what I mean? Because guys, groups are going to have fun conversations. And especially when you're with the boys, having dinner.
It's like a lads,
we can have serious conversations, and we do. And we do, but it cannot be two things. It cannot be always serious, and it cannot be not serious when...
That's not bad.
Because
when
you want it to be not serious.
Quantity.
I think it's like, I think it's moderation. It's about moderation. So you're both right and you're both wrong.
And certain things, like in discussion, it goes too far in as well. There's elements of things that... No.
What do you mean?
Like there's things like...
No, don't give me an example.
Even in describing women, when it goes too detailed, it's not healthy. Look, the way I see it, it's minor. You guys do your convos, whenever it comes up, I'll just run away again. You know what? No, because it damages my heart. So the way I see it, you man do your thing, I'll just dip. Like, it's actually, you know what? Keep going. It's my business, bro. I'll just dip.
Look, I hear that. Did you get my point, though, about just go back to the good stuff without the bad stuff?
No, that point is valid. And I appreciate it.
Wait for the butt, Sheikh.
And I like what, when you checked him, he said he's changed. And then you said he's improved. You know, that's more valid. You're more valid than what he said. He's improved. Inshallah, I continue to improve.
Inshallah.
Yeah, that's what man does, right?
I mean, all I know
always
is,
improving.
Alhamdulillah, yani this year was much better than last year.
Sahih.
Alhamdulillah.
I have something for Brother Zarir.
Please. Wow. Let's go. I love this.
You're hyping up too much, Sheikh.
Yeah. Go. I'm gonna enjoy this one as well.
Yeah, Sheikh. So basically, I know, we talk about no more Mr. Nice Guy all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of the time on the podcast, we're a big proponent of it.
Yeah.
MashaAllah, you're a big proponent of it. With guys, with women, right? I think, Sheikh, sometimes, as much as I know you, I don't know you a whole lot, but however much I know you, I think you're also nice guy with the brothers. Too much sometimes. So sometimes you just have to think about yourself a little bit more.
Wallah,
give him context. Give him context.
No, I know
he means something specific.
I can't. I'll give it off camera, Sheikh.
No, we can cut it out.
Yeah.
Keep it in.
Like in general, Sheikh, I feel like you could be easily taken advantage of. And maybe you have been taken advantage of. I don't know, Sheikh. I don't want to put it. But you are someone I see that could be easily taken advantage of. I'm not talking about women, by brothers.
Yeah.
Right? who, like, you think probably, like, you're just being nice. Sometimes you just gotta have more guards up and...
Well, a valid point. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because I'm a bit like Mariam. Yani, I can like a person quickly.
Mm.
You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I can like a person very quickly. And if I see something in someone I like him. And then when I like somebody, when I like a guy, and خلاص. يعني في...
You're just very giving.
Yeah, كده.
Yeah,
يعني
I could tell.
خلاص. حاضر. Whatever you want. You know what I mean?
I would just add a little commentary.
Just come closer to the mic.
Yeah.
Get closer and straight back.
Like to the point where there might be situations people take advantage of you, but then there's situations where you're not taking advantage when you could be, and it wouldn't even be bad. Do you get me?
But
like, for example, like as in, bro, you shouldn't. Like as in, you could have presented your startup. Sorry, your new, was it?
Early stage technology
company.
Yeah.
To a lot of brothers. And I think they would have been down for it.
Yeah.
But there's just no mention.
Yep.
No, but many of them have already. Maybe you don't know.
Okay, very good.
But I could have done.
I could have done that for you as well.
Give it to me. But
what I
want to
say about accepting feedback.
Okay.
You are that.
La.
Crazy.
اسمع.
You've given a rebuttal for every comment I've been through the last 30 minutes.
No, listen. But you know about what you said about guys taking advantage of me being the nice guy with the guys? It's not in terms of what I do for them, but what it translates into in terms of taking my time. And I'm more conscious of that recently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm more conscious of that recently.
Yeah, and I don't think it's malicious when the brothers are taking advantage.
It's not malicious.
It's just that you're
very open.
Yeah, you got bigger things to do, man.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I'm very aware of that these
Yep.
days because I'm forced to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so many opportunities in front of me and so many things that I have to do that I cannot. Even people who I like, they ask me to do things for them, or can we have a call? Can we meet for coffee? Can I get your advice? Can we meet for dinner? I say, brother, I can't. I literally can't.
Mm-hmm.
You know? What did I message you yesterday? What did I tell you? You didn't even reply to me. Look at this guy. You know? He was bad. He started being bad to me from last night.
I literally can't.
Huh?
I literally can't.
You remember the message? What did I say?
I haven't seen it.
I said, bro,
Where did you message me on?
EA?
Was it the +353 or the +971?
Bro, I don't know.
If it was the 353, you know, that's man doesn't touch that. That's
I don't know what number it was.
There you go.
Huh?
If it
I
was
said,
+44,
where's
I
my
would have
EA?
responded.
He told me he's gonna get me an EA. I need an EA.
Yeah.
You know? So that's barakallah feek. Barakallah feek.
Hey,
I need to reflect on all of this.
Let's come to
So
Sam.
I just got for Sam.
Coming for you after.
Take a day off.
No. It's coming for him?
Yeah.
Coming for me again?
Ain't got nobody.
Hit me.
I'll say just take a day off.
Yeah.
Just relax, enjoy. But I mean, you do.
Nah,
you mentioned that, you know, for Eid, for example, you took the family out, stuff like that. But yeah, that's the only thing I would say. Just maybe a bit more, because that's one thing we discussed right on the podcast. You know, asked like how you found, you know, social life or, you know, activities, stuff like that. You're like, bro, for me, I don't really do that stuff. It's just work, meetings, work, back to back, boom, boom, boom. Even I think you said you were scheduling meetings on Eid.
Yeah.
Or you're taking meetings or calls or whatever it was. So
yeah,
as long as you're intentional,
you need to let go of that identity. I think you're just way bigger than that now. Where it's like, I don't know if you've read some of Dan Sullivan's stuff, right? But it talks about this whole concept of like self-managing and just letting things just run without you, even if it's not going to be at the same efficiency. But it's like it's better because you're 100% focused on one thing is better than, you know, you making sure every other segment is. And I think this is something we're both similar on, is like we like to make sure every step of the way on every step of the ladder is done perfectly. You know, but sometimes that breeds, you know, bad behavior on our team because people to get into flow, they actually they can't be micromanaged. You know, they need to just make their mistakes, get loose until they find their 20%, right? And yeah, I'd let go of a lot of your stuff. I think you would create so much bigger ideas if you actually were more intentional about where you devoted your energy and rested more, in truth.
Very good.
I'm laughing because
he's gonna go right back to work after this.
No. I'm taking this seriously. Yeah.
Go on, Imran.
Yeah, I just want to sleep.
The sleep thing is huge.
Yeah.
Just have a good night's sleep.
I think it's difficult for him because he's got the American. Like,
I know.
How would you recommend he navigates that? Because he's got
Do you know
clients in
it's-
America, meetings in America. So 1 a.m. he's got meetings.
Look, the one of the fundamental laws of design is there's always a way. It's something you just need to sit down. If you actually, what I've learned, especially with all these different, like I had one of my clients come over from US. Bruv, there's no fair, like everyone has their fair share of like, not excuses in a way that they're making excuses, but like excuses for why they have to live this like super intense lifestyle. And it's not true. If you actually sit down with a whiteboard and a marker and design things out and just ask yourself, how can I still get this outcome, but without giving this up? You can come up with a way. But a lot of us don't seek to come up with a way. You know, any problem I have with a client, everything, it's the same thing. Whiteboard and marker, let's talk through it. And we always get a solution, Sasha.
Yeah.
Always. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So you have the whiteboard, you have the marker, you design your life down to the detail. Then you say, from tomorrow, I'm going to execute this. And it doesn't go according, like you execute 30% of that live by design plan that you've just put on that whiteboard.
You end up
Now,
at at 1 a.m.
How do you move that 30% to 90%? Because you could be at 30% today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Every day you wake up, you look, before you sleep, you look at that plan and it doesn't go according to, so how do you do it?
Let me tell you guys something. Everyone on this table is unique in a sense that the advice I'm going to give you guys might be different for some other people. But this is actually beneficial to the general public. You have to identify what your 20 is. The 20% that actually brings the results. And just let no matter how sad it is, just let everything else go. Because one thing I keep remembering is like, Ya ibn Adam, innama anta ayyam, dhahaba yawman dhahaba ba'dukum. As time passes, a part of you passes. Every day, a part of you is dying. When you look at that and you're conscious of that, you start to be like, you know what? If there's someone who can do this 80, like this thing that is low leverage for me is somebody else's high leverage task, right? My calendar management, that's not all these things. Why am I the first? Like I always say, if people reach out to you first, you're doing a bad job. When you're this important and there's so much ilm and so much like perspective in your mind, there should be so much barriers until people actually get to you. You're saving yourself for the 20% of actions that's gonna. But here's the problem. A lot of the times you identify with this, you did this before. Everyone, to get to this stage, you dropped loads of 80%. But the problem comes is when you're going to that next level, you don't realize that, okay, now there's a new 20. And I need to get rid of what was formerly a 20 has now become the 80. Does that make sense? So you're always climbing, like the things you're doing start to become a lot less. But the quality of that, maybe that one thing, the only one thing you do, it's so high. But you don't do anything else. You just do one thing.
You know, I got two things to say. One is I'm really angry right now. I'm really angry at Fawaz. And I got criticism for him. Now I got legit, from the heart, criticism for you. You know what it is?
Chatting.
You say that I talk about women a lot, which I don't. Hold on. Listen, guys. Listen. All right. Okay. You know something? You know what I just clocked? Is that you have so much to give in terms of live by design, this and that. But whenever we're together, you don't give us anything. On the podcast, you give a little because it's going out to the videos and stuff. But I spent 3 days with you, Aman. 3 days I spent with him. And I was anticipating that I'm going to 3 days, I'm going to come back, I'm going to have like some live by design, FOC. You know what I mean? I didn't get nothing. All I heard was football is gay, this is gay, that's gay. It's all I heard. This is my criticism of you. Is that when we're together, if you're not going to talk about personal development, then the conversation is going to go to women, of course. So it's your fault that the brothers, they talk about women. Because you're not talking about something more productive. Away. You get what I mean?
You keep running away.
Yeah, he keeps running away. You get me? So now whose fault is it? Whose fault is it?
Nah,
you think if he's talking, hold on. You think if he's talking gems about personal development, you think You think anyone's gonna be talking about
This is even personal. This is personal and business
about
development.
Suraya and I don't know who?
Suraya, bro.
I don't know whatever.
Suraya,
It's just
bro.
a name.
I'll tell you the truth, by the way. Like,
Huh?
and nothing. I always say this. Like, I'm not. You guys are Allah Barik, very experienced, etc. Same with like the degree of clients we work with. They're not beginner entrepreneurs, right? But sometimes because you're so busy in the hustle and bustle of your life, you can't see what I can see.
So,
Because I'm there to like fully. I'm overview.
Yep.
I can see all the camp. You're too zoomed in. I make sure I'm zoomed out so we can see all the areas and we can connect the dots. There's so many problems that, like, you know what I always say, like, wallahi, if you're working hard, you're not using leverage. It's the truth. If you're really working hard, it means you're missing out on some area of leverage in your life. And until you unlock that, you're just going to keep hustling forever.
You know what he's doing?
what was the second thing you were going to
He's
say?
deflecting. But anyways, I'll tell you the second thing. Second thing is he's not taking accountability for what I just said. That he doesn't talk about this stuff when we're together. We need more of it.
I'm sorry.
We need more of it.
It's like you said. Be the change you want to see in the ummah.
There you go. Second thing I wanted to say is self criticism of myself. Self criticism of myself. Yani all of your feedback was valid except Fawaz's. Okay. All right. But I do this a lot. And I'll tell you something, bro. Like I had 8 years of my life. That was the best years of my life on all of those 4 aspects that you were talking about. Of deen, physical strength, intellectual strength, finances, everything. Okay? Everything. Like incredible. I'll give you an example. Like I learned languages in that period. New languages. I read books. I used to read audiobooks when there were no audiobooks. It was MP3 files you need to put on CDs. Do you get what I mean? Like now I have Spotify. I'm not listening to audiobooks. Do you get me? It's so easy. When it was hard, I used to do it. And I developed so much. And I remember the sweetness of it. I memorized so much of the Quran. Like I believe it was almost half, if not 2/3 of it.
Allahumma barak.
You get what I mean? I memorized so many poems from Jahiliyyah and so like
MashaAllah.
it was lived by design before Fawaz like had even introduced it. You know what I mean?
But by the way, I actually want to mention this. You know, the only reason we need to
I really wanted to land.
you-
I wanted to
Oh,
land.
sorry.
And then
Huh?
Go on.
And then what happened was I got married. Yeah? And marriage was a disruptor because I'll give you an example. I'll tell you how I lived. In my bedroom, I didn't have a bed. In my bedroom was a gym. I had like I used to live like the
MashaAllah.
Japanese. You know, the Japanese, they have a mat. Because I used to look at my room. This is from university. From the time I was in university. I said, this bed in my room, it takes up so much space and I only spent 8 hours on it. And I don't need this big bed anyways. You get what I mean? And I used to say like anything that's weak, I cut it out. I'll give you an example. Like, alhamdulillah, I didn't stop this. From 16 till today, I never drank a carbonated drink. But from the time I said I'm not going to drink a carbonated drink, I cut out any sugar until I got married. And then I had the wedding cake because they forced me to have the wedding cake. You get what I mean? And then the whole thing broke. The sweet thing, broke. And then obviously you're married, you can't have a Japanese roll-up mattress. You know what I mean? So then the gym went into a different room. The gym thing went, but it plateaued. It didn't increase. So I'm looking back at those days and I'm saying to myself, man, I did it before. And I didn't do it before like for a month or for 6 months or for a year. I did it for 8.
MashaAllah.
Like maybe more than that as well. And I saw like, if I showed you like physically, I get compliments. Oh, mashallah, you are fit. You're this, you're that. Bro, when they tell me this, I'm like, bro, you didn't see me like
Back in the days.
back in the day when I was living by design. You didn't see me those days. I remember it clearly. And I know because I've done it before, I can do it again. And inshallah I will. And this is what's on my mind every night before I sleep. Like I want tomorrow to be like what it used to be. You get what I mean? And I'm getting there because I'm the guy, like no matter how long it takes, I don't give up. I don't give up. I don't have that in my dictionary. So inshallah I come back. Inshallah I come back to that. But I need to come back quickly, soon. But then that's my self-analysis. That's my self-analysis.
This was one of the most inspiring segments of Child My Mind, mashallah.
Isn't this episode, you mean?
This segment of Brother Zarir.
Yeah.
Say Amin.
I mean,
Say Amin.
MashaAllah. No, this was really good.
And there was no women talk those days as well. So you'll be happy if I go back to, not that there's women talk now, but yeah.
Sheikh, what's your advice for me? You didn't give any.
My advice for you. What was yours to him? No, you gave him something. You gave him something good. I believe, yani, similar to what Fawaz said. Correct me if I'm wrong. Would you say you're closer to this, having this perfectionist mindset?
Yes, some stuff.
I believe so, right?
Yeah.
I believe so. You know why I see that in you? Because I have a bit of that in myself.
Mm-hmm.
And you reach points where you need to get people to do, because you cannot. Mm-hmm. You have huge projects, and I see great things in what you're going to do, like not even down the line, very soon.
Oh.
I saw the video on Imran's story the other day of the plot and the building and this and that. I looked at it, I said, this is like a drop in the ocean compared to what's coming 4 years from now.
Inshallah.
You know? So you have no choice except to sacrifice quality for quantity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's the obsessive side. More than perfectionism, I get too obsessed with things too quickly.
Because nobody can do the task as good as you.
I actually disagree with that.
I think it's the identity. The quality thing I disagree with.
No,
as well. The quality, quantity.
I'll tell you why. Because there's this concept known as the tyranny of the or, and then the genius of the and. So some people believe it's either this or that. It's either quality or quantity. But then why not quality and quantity?
You can have it. And I didn't even like what I said. You can have it.
Mm-hmm.
But Sam Amin is at a different caliber. Whenever, and everyone on this table is as well. Whenever we delegate something to somebody to do, we free up time for us to focus on what's more important. But there's no way that person is going to be able to execute as you would.
And that's, by the way, that's not even true. This is one thing I've learned as well. This is a limiting belief a lot of us successful people have. We haven't trained these people to be this good.
I'll give you an example, yeah? So this is, I've 4 years, struggled to trust anyone on our team. And even times when I've given them stuff, they've always flopped. Do you get me? And recently, I've been giving things to the team. I've been training them. But obviously, I can't give them my brain. And they can't do exactly what I do. So there was a very sensitive task that I wanted the brother Harun to do, yeah? Which was, I said to him, this newsletter that we're going to build out, I said, I want you to basically build out end to end, come up with the questions, get in touch with the people, just build it out. And it might sound simple, it's a mammoth task. Because there's different segmentations, there's 3 different newsletters that come out, there's 3 different audiences, he's got to make sure that the content is right, he's got to get in touch with the people who are going to feature on the newsletter, and there's 3 people per email. And there's 3 emails coming out every week, so that's 9 people. Plus the main guy, and he's got to have it for 2-3 weeks in advance. It was a massive task I gave him. As I've given him the task, I can't lie. I don't know. I was just thinking 2 days. I was thinking for 2 days, I was thinking, you know what? Let me just take it off him. He's not even going to do it. Why am I kidding myself? He's not going to do it. I've set him up for failure. And then I went and I checked the emails he sent me for review, bro. I was so impressed, man. I was like, wow, Allahumma barik. Not only did he have great emails written out, he set up all the backend, all the automations, all the segmentation, and bro, he reached out to people that would be perfect to answer those questions on the newsletter that I don't even know how he got their numbers. I don't even know how he got in touch with them. Right?
Your 80 is somebody else's 20.
Say that again?
Exactly.
Not as in he actually did it better than me.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You know why though? Because that's his...
Right, but what I'm getting at is that broke my limiting belief of, you know what? They can't do it as good as me. Now, some people can do it better than you. But my thing is, I've got to enable them. So by me encouraging him, coaching him, setting him up.
It's training.
So I'm going to take it back. I'm going to take back what I said. When you delegate, there are people who can do it, who will do it not as good as you. There are people who will do it better than you.
Yeah.
You got to delegate regardless.
Those guys, yeah.
You got to delegate. Try and find those guys. You find them great. You don't. Still delegate.
Okay, I know you're here for the podcast, but I need to share something that's been happening behind the scenes with you. So
being in the position that I'm in, I get exposed to a lot of opportunities that most people would live and die and never be exposed to. I obviously can't make use of all these opportunities. And in those situations, it just makes sense to share it with you. There is a brother who's helping brothers who have zero business experience start making money online. Within 90 days, the overwhelming majority of his students will start making money. He's got a student that secured a $48,000 deal within just 60 days. His students are making $10K a month. This is ridiculous because he's literally taking guys from zero to hero with Allah's permission. Now, I'm sure you've heard these type of claims before. And so have I, which is why I didn't really buy it until my previous sales director, my head of sales, came to me and said, listen, bro, this guy's program is different. Like, people are making money. Like, people when they join this program are not saying I was inspired. They're not saying I was motivated. They're saying I made bread with Allah's permission. So naturally, I had to get in touch with him. And I asked him, I said, Akhi, how do you do it? And he said, the process is simple. I help Muslims become solopreneurs where I get them to secure deals between brands and influencers. I show them how to structure the deal and make the cut in between. And I show them how to do it in a way that's halal. I have never seen someone whose program has got such a high success rate. And it makes sense. Why? Because this is not like a course that you're just going through. This is a hands-on mentorship. This is feedback loops. This is a very hands-on program. Now, with these things, there's always a catch. And the catch here is that it's very hard to get inside this program. They've had well over 10,000 applications and less than 2% have been considered. And more than 98% of those applications have been rejected. Now, I'd love to tell you that this is just like a scarcity tactic, but no, genuinely, like they are so obsessive about the type of people that they let through because they want to make sure they safeguard their success rate. So they want to make sure that you're actually qualified for the program. So look, if you're ready to stop watching others win and actually start winning yourself, and you've been looking for that golden opportunity, you can apply to join Brother Abu Lahya's marketing influencer mentorship at the link below. It's real. And inshallah, it could be that break that you've been waiting for, man. With that said, let's get back into the podcast.
Especially the stage where you're at, I think every time you need to reach a new level, you actually have to let go of the identity that got you to this current level, you know? So a part of you has to actually die in order for something to become, like this new part of you to be born. The old part of you has to die.
Where was this Fawaz in Oman?
Wallahi, yani, between
he was having arguments over football.
Gay checking.
He was gay checking.
I'll be honest with you, that gay conversation was actually, alhamdulillah, it was quite short. You know, the brothers...
It was quite short. Was it short?
It wasn't.
I thought it was going to get physical.
In the context of 3 days.
Bro, you remember? I thought it was going to get physical. I thought there was going to be a fight.
5 minutes. It was like 5-7 minutes. And then I was like, do whatever you want. I don't like...
Is there anyone who feels that they have something compelling that they have to share with someone that they've not yet shared?
As in their weakness?
Yeah, is there anyone sitting here who was like, you know what, I wanted to say something to someone, but I just didn't.
No, I want 2 things. I want Sam Amin and Fawaz
to fight.
to do a self-analysis.
Self-analysis.
On
themselves. Yeah.
Allah, Sheikh.
Stop.
I believe I'm going to benefit a lot from this. You know, I know a brother to my left who's very dear to me. He doesn't like me complimenting the brothers on my right, but I'm going to do it anyways.
No.
I was so happy. Segment, I was so happy when I saw Sam today because, brother, this guy, I'm going to be like Mutanabbi. I'm going to praise myself when I praise others as well. Okay? Similar to me. He's climbed. He's climbed the business ladder and learned lessons the hard way. And when you learn lessons the hard way, you know the hacks. You know the hacks.
Yep.
And you get not only the hacks, you know you get wisdom. And the thing is, we've come up 2 different paths. So the wisdom that he's acquired is different than the wisdom that I've acquired. But every time I sit with him, I get a little bit of it. And that's why I want his self-analysis. And why I want Fawaz's self-analysis is because, I'm not going to he doesn't like him, I'm not going to compliment him.
Don't.
But he knows. He's wise beyond his age. And it's like I'm sitting with Yoda. You know Yoda?
I went from Iron Man to Yoda. What's next?
No, but like an Iron Man Yoda. You know,
Even
you get what I mean?
now.
What?
Said Yoda.
Who's the main transformer?
Optimus Prime.
Optimus.
He's wise, right? He's not the wisdom.
Not like Yoda.
I don't know any of these. I'm confused.
Well,
I have no idea as
okay,
well.
we go self-analysis.
Faz, you go ahead, brother.
No, start, Sheikh. I never speak before my elders.
Bismillah. So, what do you want me to do, Sheikh? Self-analysis on what I need to improve on right now.
What do you need to improve on?
Yeah. So I think we all know that we need to start with end in mind, right? I'm talking about end in dunya. Of course, the end in akhirah, inshallah, we want to be in Jannah. But for business, like, where is this heading? Is it, first of all, is it build to sell, build to rent? Just common examples. Am I going to pass it on? Like, what am I doing? Start with the end in mind. But the problem is, what I have learned, when you're not learning, when you're not surrounded by a good network, when you don't know the levels in the game, you don't know what's the possible end for you to start with end in mind. For example, Sheikh, for me, I was thinking the end is like do a fund, become Grant Cardone of the Muslim Ummah. That was for me the end. But look at Grant Cardone's end. Nobody respects him. When I was actually dreaming about becoming Grant Cardone in the real estate industry, he had a lot of respect, right? He had a lot of respect. But over time, because the fulfillment was not there on a lot of things, people like he has a lot of enemies now. Some are legitimate, some are not, right? So our journey gets limited by the end that we put in our mind. So I'll now give examples of things I'm learning now, okay? So this concept of putting assets in a trust, what the rich people do. One of the richest families in the world is Walton family, the family of Walmart, basically. Sam Walton and his family. The family is worth $600 billion. Even though he was the founder, Sam Walton, a long time ago. After that, they did not come up with any crazy invention or anything. How do they still maintain $600 billion? Is through these trusts we alluded to a little bit. For example, Sheikh, in a trust agreement, it will make sense what I'm saying. In a trust, you could put an asset, you know how we discussed, like when we pass away, you have to pay 40% inheritance tax, right? In the UK. In the US, it's anything above $13 million asset, you have to pay 50% inheritance tax. So let's say Brother Zarir's company goes to $100 million valuation. He passes away. The children, 50% just tax, right? So how the rich avoid it is through trust funds. You know what they do? So you put your company, and this is just one hack. You put your company in a trust when the company is valued at 1 million, at 500,000. It's nothing. And then you freeze the asset. So the valuation gets frozen at $1 million. So then when it becomes a $1 billion company and your kids inherit it, they don't pay the taxes on the billion, even though the valuation is at billion. But because the trust owns it and it's frozen at 1 million, they're paying only $500,000 tax on a $1 billion company they inherit.
Okay.
So these things, Sheikh, these education I'm learning, and you constantly mention that. You don't know what's in there unless you get into that room.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, man, I think the area of CEO mentioned that. They're like, man, we're playing kids games over there and we're thinking we're conquering the world. What is this room? Then you learn, you go. So start with end in mind. We have to have even more audacious, bigger goals when we're 19, 20, 21. And, now I wish hindsight 2020, I had a bigger brother, for example, like Zarir or myself or Fawaz or any of us. Like we have to constantly, our young people, like when we see that potential, it's not for everyone. When we see that potential, we have to take them by the wing and show them what's really out there possible. Because so much potential is getting wasted, lost, because they don't know what's at. Now, I want to bring it back to Brother Zarir's question. Now I think, man, I'm 32 years old. Now I think I know a whole lot. I've learned the trust game, I've learned like the trust, putting these assets into. Now what bothers me, what don't I know? What's out there? Now I think I have gotten it all. But of course, when I become 42, I'm like, man, I wish, like, what was I thinking when I was 32? So what's out there?
What's in the next room?
What's in the next room? How quick can I go to the next room? Who is in the next room? How do I know this person? How do I get in the next room? How do I learn, like, unpack new levels?
Bro, I know something about the next rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I know about getting into the next room is that ولا ينال المطالب بالتمني. ولكن تؤخذ الدنيا غلابا. You will never achieve anything that you desire by wishing for it. Rather, this world is taken with force. When you want to go into a new room, you need to kick the door down.
Open. Yep.
Kick the door open.
Yeah.
And then after you kick the door open, the first step you take inside, the people in the room, they're going to hit you like you're going to take hits. Hits. They're going to keep hitting you.
They're going to defend the room.
They're going to defend the room. They're going to keep hitting you. They don't want you in that room.
Yep.
They're going to keep hitting you until you handle it. They see this guy's not going anywhere. Then they're like,
he's one of us.
And then khalas. Then khalas. Ya marhaba. You know? And then you're in that room.
So powerful.
Then you're in the room. And then you're going to be there for like, depending how quick you move. You might be there for a year. Usually me, I'm trying to fasten it, speed it up. But usually I'm in the room for like a year and a half, 2 years. Now I'm tired of that. I need to be in the room for 6 months tops.
Yeah.
And then you kick the other door.
True. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And same thing. People, they need to realize this. When you attempt to enter a new room, you're going to get hit and hit hard and hit consistently. But what they don't know is that the hits will stop. They will stop. You know? So this is what I know about getting to the
100%. So powerful. Powerful analogy.
Ya marhaba.
Fawaz, self-reflection. We've got 4 minutes, by the way.
I think I've been operating much smaller than what I want. You know, even like what I feel like we've been maybe thinking similar things this week, but with starting with the end in mind. I ended up, a lot of the things that I've been doing recently, I face a lot of cognitive dissonance, right? In a sense that I'm doing things that isn't necessarily aligned with what I really want, but because I'm being told or advised that this is the path that I should take. And then I sat down for a second and I started to wonder and ask myself, like, what is it that I'm trying to achieve? And I was very able to quickly able to realize that no one's done what I'm trying to achieve. So I'm being told to take these routes, and eventually one day, but I'm saying I can't follow anybody and I can't copy anyone because this thing I'm trying to build hasn't been done yet. So this is what I was saying, you know, to my mentors. I had this conversation with Sheikh as well. I had this conversation with my team. Like, yeah, we're going to see dips right now, but just trust me. There's people that are going to start hitting us as we walk into this new room. People are going to attack us, but I'm okay with it. I'm going to ride it out because I'm trying to genuinely build something that has never been done before.
Which is,
you know, I want to build, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, a cult, you know, if you will, a culture that people know whenever they go to the next level, they know that it's time for that new door. To kick down that new door, they come to me.
Called Fawaz.
You know? They come to me.
I like
they
you
know.
explained it. You said, I want you. He was like, you know, the Christians, they have before Christ and after Christ.
Yeah.
He sounded to be before Fawaz. After Fawaz.
Wallahi.
Yeah.
Did he say cult?
He doesn't mean cult.
Did he say it?
He did.
Yeah.
He said
You said cult? You want to create a cult? Well, I knew you had that in you. I knew you had that in
You guys are going to understand what I mean now.
You know
No.
this guy, I see him?
Say cult-like, not cult.
Cult-like, yeah, say cult-like.
Yeah.
But you know what I
Like.
see him? I can so see him like doing
Jim
a mad
Jones.
thing.
Jim Jones.
You know, doing a mad thing?
Oh.
No, hold on, not Jim Jones, like doing a mad thing. Like he blows up, got like, you know, 60 million, 100 million. All of a sudden, just like these cult leaders,
By the island.
he only wears like the African king garb with like the you know, the West African
Yes.
hat thing.
Yeah.
And he's got a staff, you know?
Nah, literally.
And he has like a throne in a palace. You know what I mean?
And his closest guy's got bees coming out their necks.
I don't
No, he
know.
got like a bead necklace or something. He do an African. He adopts like this African tribal king, you know, personality cult or something like that. You know?
And on that note,
Okay.
we'll see you on the next episode.
No, so guy,
I'm trying to get my half an hour right. Man's-
Bro, valid, not valid.
look,
Don't
he-
tell me you don't have that. in you.
the point that he mentioned, I think it's nice. It's like he wants there to be a situation where it's such a pivotal change in people's lives.
Yeah.
That it's like before Fawaz, after Fawaz. So and I think inshallah you will do that, man.
Yeah, man.
I just
Inshallah.
want to leave the brothers on one thing and advice to myself and all of us, which I think could be very beneficial for us to walk away with. A realization that I've just had over this last week. I spoke with Abu Bakr about it on the day of Eid as well, the day after Eid, sorry, which is that, you know, why do we do business? Why are we in business? What's the objective of the business? Is the business there to serve us, i.e. the shareholders, the guys who own the business, to just serve our pockets? Or is the business there to serve the people that we provide services for? Because in every single transaction, there's me and them, right?
Yeah.
There's money I'm giving you. Sorry, there's money you're giving me and fulfillment I'm giving you. So what's the primary objective? Is the business here to serve the pockets of the shareholders? Or is the business there to serve the people? Now, fundamentally, and I think I speak for all of us when we say this, but there's only so much you can fill your pockets before you're like, that doesn't really excite me anymore, right? So why do you carry on doing business? It has to be to serve the people, right? It has to be to create that impact in the world. That business is there to create a dent in the world. All right, طيب, if that's the case, and it's the case for me at least, then am I creating this business to just live, to just exist in my lifetime, or am I creating it to exist outside my lifetime as well? And obviously, if you're creating something to serve the people, to serve the Muslims, serve the Ummah, then it's got to outlive you. Because if it doesn't, then really it's just to serve you, and you just made it sound pretty by saying, "Oh, I'm here to help the people," but it's gonna die with you, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So then the thought process was like, all right, cool. Well, then why are we running the business like it's gonna die with us? Because if you're building something that's gonna outlive you, then the way you run this whole project is completely different. Every decision you take is for 100 years from now, 200 years from now. So to give you an example, we came up with company values, and the company values should be timeless. It should be something 100 years from now, 200 years from now. People who inherit this company or walk into this company or are the new CEO or CEO or whatever can just look at these core values and still use them to keep the business at the top of that particular industry. So I've been in the process of rebuilding those. So a couple of things come to mind that are important to consider when it comes to building something that's going to outlive you. I won't go into all of them since Abu Bakr really wants to take his break. I'll mention just one. I made a video on it in a bit of detail, but there's one that I will mention. And that is a secret that is in Allah's name, Al-Akhir, the last. Imam Ibn Qayyim, he brought a beautiful gem in his book, Tariq al-Hijratain. He said, Allah, he has two names, Al-Awwal wal-Akhir, the first and the last. He was there before everyone else, and he's going to be there after. He's the eternal. Pre-eternal and eternal, right? Subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said also nothing that exists or any success that you get or any money that you make or any progress that you make ever comes from you. It's always Allah who decrees it first for you, and then Allah gives you the tawfiq to actually do it. So nothing that you build comes from you. Allah inspired you with the idea, then He gave the tawfiq to do the idea, then so on and so forth. Then He said, okay, so that's the name Al-Awwal. He said, but you know what the secret is in? Is in the name Al-Akhir. Because people will get to Al-Awwal. They'll understand Allah is the first. That's why they make dua to Him. That's why they have reliance upon Him in order to get the thing in the first place. That's why they repent for their sins so they can get these good things, right?
Right.
But He said Al-Akhir, the one who remains. He said the secret in how to get your blessings to remain, how to get, inshallah, our businesses to remain, how to get our projects to remain, is to connect this project to Al-Akhir. If you connect this business or this thing or your life or your journey or your legacy, whatever you're trying to build, to the one that will always remain, He will ensure that it remains.
Wow. Because
in Jannah, human beings are not immortal. But why does Allah allow us to exist into eternity? It's through Him. Mm-hmm. He, subhanahu wa ta'ala, He becomes pleased with us and He accepts us into Jannah. And through Him, we're able to stay alive for eternity. We're not infinite, but we will, may Allah accept us into paradise, live for eternity, but Allah is the one who will make us live for eternity. So if you want your effects, whether it be in your lineage,
I get you. I get what you're saying.
Whether it's in your lineage,
subhanallah,
whether it's in your business, and you want this to remain till the day of judgment, and after, then build something that you connect
with Al-Akhir.
With Al-Akhir, subhanah. And I'll end with this story. And this is a story that I learned last year, and it's really imprinted itself in my brain, man. Which is Uthman radiallahu anhu bought the well, Bi'r Ruma in Medina, the well that was the water supply for the Muslims.
Yep.
And he did that for the sake of Allah. This well still exists today, over 1,400 years, right? 1,450 plus years. It exists till today. And what does this well do? The water that comes out of this well is used to water the date palms that produce dates. And those dates are sold. And then that money is taken and put inside a bank account called Uthman ibn Affan Waqf. His Waqf, the trust of Uthman ibn Affan. Waqf for Uthman ibn Affan. And that money is taken from that trust and it's spent on charitable projects till today. Till today, akhi. And subhanallah, man, as in...
Bro, you know something?
Yeah.
When you gave the gem, I'm like, he should have just ended there because no story can be as good as the gem. I was wrong.
I mean, I've been to Gambia, you know, when Brother Bakr Islam took me roadside to Islam to check out the Spot project, where they're building this beautiful orphanage, they have the wells. And then across the road, there's a well from a charity who I will not mention their name, but the well is a hazard. Like the other charity that's across the road, there's a well, it's broken. Like someone will actually die. They try to take water from there. Now I'm saying, I'm not blaming the charity, but I'm just saying there's a reason why that died. There's a reason why that didn't last forever. Maybe the charity that was given at the time.
I get you.
So honestly, brothers, I believe what we're building,
bro,
this is going to be the secret ingredient, inshallah. If we can just really align ourselves with Allah's pleasure,
powerful.
This will be a different ball game. And on that, Jazakallah khair, man.
That's
Can I quickly mention?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah.
One advice for you, Sheikh.
Please.
More Islamic content.
Yeah. Jazakallah khair.
I'm
on
so
YouTube.
sorry. Well, I have to tweet it so bad.
I have one more.
I'm so sorry.
Wait. I got, before we end,
Go.
I got another criticism of him.
He's going to...
I got another criticism. Yeah, you go to the toilet too much.
Is that gay?
What's wrong with... Huh?
Is that gay?
No, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Huh?
He's running away. All right, you know.
No, inshallah, I'm actually working the Islamic content more.
Inshallah. This is so powerful because nobody matches it with what we're doing.
No, barakallah fi, Sheikh.
Yeah.
Seriously, this was a serious advice, by the way.
No, jazakallah khair, Sheikh. Barakallah fiik. I appreciate that.
Inshallah. We love you.
طيب, with that said, subhanakallahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.